I know what you play with me. Chill.
What? Freak show is everybody coming together and saying, oh, we're going to watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental, what we're going to watch here.
Guy's different than because he views Jake Paul as a decent boxer. This is not the first time that someone has come out and said this. We've heard Terrence Bud Crawford come out and say that because of the size difference, Tank won't be able to hurt Jake Paul, and that Jake Paul could probably knock him out with one punch.
Reports suggest that Floyd Mayweather made an unexpected appearance at the press conference for the upcoming Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis fight, confronting Jake directly. The event quickly escalated as both camps traded tense remarks, highlighting the growing rivalry and intensity surrounding this highly anticipated matchup.
Just showing up. Honestly, I'm gonna knock him out. You know, he has a lot of flaws in his defense, and I'm gonna expose him. You know, look what a 135 Lamont Roach did to him, and it's just gonna be so much fun for me. I'm so glad that God gave me this moment. I'm Gervonta Tank Davis.
Of critics have brushed off the upcoming Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis bout, labeling it more of a publicity stunt than a genuine contest. Still, others see it differently. Sports journalist Ariel Helwani offered an opposing take, pointing out that MMA fans usually embrace these kinds of crossover matchups, viewing them as fun and innovative. Yet, when boxing tries something similar, those same audiences tend to criticize it as pointless. Helwani suggested this highlights a clear double standard between the two sports. While he acknowledged that the fight might stray from boxing's purest traditions, he also emphasized its undeniable entertainment factor.
Generally, I'm sure it'll be a little bit closer, maybe 200 to 150. How much bigger can Tank get? Why would that be somewhat celebrated in MMA, but in boxing it isn't? Do you know what I mean, Pizzi? In MMA, like, we sort of love the freak shows, but in boxing they don't. Why do you think that is? What does that say about us in MMA?
Well, we're a sick bunch of fucks. There's no doubt about that. But I will say,
you agree, right, or no?
Yeah. Like, the idea of the MMA freak show is everybody coming together and saying, oh, we're going to watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental, what we're going to watch here. I think where people get annoyed with Jake is, like, you know, he even got me. You know what I mean? This guy is the greatest outrage farmer of all time. I saw his tweet and I was like, reading it, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, this is exactly what he fucking wants me to do. You know, like, this is, every time I'm doing this, he's in the game of getting eyeballs, and this is ridiculous. As long as, like, you know, why do I like an MMA freak show? Why would I watch Eddie Hall in an MMA fight against Dylan Dennis? I'll be like, this is fucking ridiculous, and I have to watch it. That's the way I feel about Jake Paul and Davis. I will watch it. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's all of us getting together to go to the circus for the evening. I think the reason why there's pushback against it when Jake does it is because Jake, and obviously tactfully, is going like, what are you talking about? This guy's a world champion. I took out Mike Tyson. He's a world champion. And then I'm going to take out Canelo and stuff like this. Like, he's winding us up. He's not agreeing to the stipulation that we're all agreeing on, which is, this is a freak show. This is absolutely mental. As long as we can agree with that, we can all enjoy it collectively.
But do you not think he does agree to that? Do you not think he knows what this is?
No, I do.
Floyd Mayweather shared his thoughts on the upcoming Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis fight, saying that although the Paul brothers are making bold moves and should be free to do their thing, Jake still hasn't proven himself against top-level competition. According to Mayweather, Paul has yet to face a fighter with genuine experience or the elite skills that define what real boxers bring to the ring.
Like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers. Logan as well as Jake, they know what they're doing, so they're doing what they got.
The announcement of the Gervonta Davis vs. Jake Paul fight has split opinions across the boxing world. Many fans and analysts feel the matchup doesn't quite align with the traditional spirit of the sport. Longtime supporters of Davis, who have watched his rise from the early stages of his career, view this bout as a step in the wrong direction for a fighter celebrated for his power and dedication. The backlash isn't solely about Jake Paul's YouTube roots. It's also about the notion that a proven champion like Davis would even consider taking part in a spectacle-style event.
Can't believe people think that Tank ain't gonna knock out Jake Paul. Like, bruh, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's gonna go. Jake Paul will go in that ring thinking he has the upper hand, he has the reach, he has the weight, and he gonna go in there confident. Yeah, he might stun Tank a little bit, But I'm gonna tell you, he gonna underestimate Tank. That's exactly what's about to happen. He's gonna underestimate him and his size, and he gonna get crushed. I think this right here is what's gonna end Jake Paul's boxing career. I think that Jake Paul, when you sit here and think about it, the people he fought, I'm not saying they wasn't real fighters, but they just not no Tank Davis. Buddy, I'm telling you, I don't think this is scripted. I think, yes, this is for money, but I think it's like, hey, at your own cost, go in that ring. Y'all know the weight difference. What's gonna happen is what's gonna happen at the end of the day. I think Tank really go, drop him. He ain't gonna understand, Jake Paul ain't understand how, but he's about to see it. And on some real stuff, I think Tank setting Jake Paul up. I remember when Jake Paul went up against Tyson, he said, you need to fight me. Like, I want to get in the ring with Jake Paul. He disrespected the boxing world by getting in the ring with Tyson and embarrassing him. And, you know, Tank really messed with Tyson. I think he setting him up, bro. Mark my words. I think he like, yeah, come in the ring, but we gonna do a friendly, you know what I'm saying? You know, a match or whatever. We gonna get this money. He about to embarrass him November 14th. Just because Jake Paul think the boxing world's sweet. He think it's sweet. He think they about to keep taking it easy on him with these fights. All right, I bet you. How much I want to bet? Tank is setting him up. He's gonna literally do him so bad just to make an example out of.
The build-up to this fight has been filled with unusual moments that make it difficult for many fans to take the event seriously. One of the biggest talking points involves Shakur Stevenson, who reportedly sparred with Jake Paul. The news sparked backlash, with some fans criticizing Stevenson for appearing to support a fight they already disapprove of. In response, Shakur said he's unfazed by the negativity and actually uses it as fuel for motivation, a reaction that reflects his professionalism and composure. Still, the fact that even fighters not directly involved are getting pulled into the debate highlights just how polarizing this matchup has become. For many observers, the surrounding drama and online chatter seem to be overshadowing the sporting side of the event.
Right? When Turkey was doing all that, like, I don't want no boring Tom and Jerry fights, he came out with a Tom and Jerry hat. And then he fought in a style that is not sustainable for him. And it's not, again, for me, it's not sustainable because fighting like that, if you do that with the wrong one, you'll lose. If you fight how you fight, okay, it's going to be harder to win. But you're putting your own self on the chopping block, trying to appease the crowd or not be Tom and Jerry. It's not sustainable. And even in the Zepeda fight, he got rocked back with a jab and fell into the ropes like that. So you could say I wasn't hurt and all that, but it's still a bad look. It's a bad look. People always talk about Tank, the knee, hair grease thing, but what about Shakur getting rocked into the ropes from a Zepeda jab? Even if you were off balance, you're supposed to be light years ahead of Zepeda skillfully. So to me, that still looks really bad. Like, I've watched 50 fights from Floyd Mayweather, and he's fighting way better than Zepeda level, and Canelo and these guys, they're not punching him into the ropes and he's staggering back. The optics of it look bad. So back to it, Shakur, I feel like he's trying so hard to look unbothered, but he always replies to it so you could tell he's bothered. He's like, man, I got him so mad at me. And I personally, I don't prefer that when people do that. Like, for example, Shakur's like, man, I got him tuned in and thanks for the support. Bro, they're not really supporting you. They're all the comments underneath you saying whatever you said about I get to pick Jake Paul's brain and work with him and all that. Most of them were negative. So you're trying to, like, it's so weird because it reminds me of when I've seen people like celebrities or whatever who they have
Several boxers, including Devin Haney and Terence Crawford, have also weighed in on the situation. They've expressed concern that, despite Gervonta Davis's talent, taking on someone like Jake Paul carries unnecessary risk because of the clear size and weight differences. Jake's physical advantages could make the matchup difficult, even though the skill level between the two fighters isn't comparable. Both Haney and Crawford noted that bouts like this blur the distinction between authentic boxing competition and pure entertainment. Their views echo those of many traditional fans who believe the sport should stay rooted in real competition, not just spectacle or business-driven events.
Because he views Jake Paul as a decent boxer. This is not the first time that someone has come out and said this. We've heard Terence Bud Crawford come out and say that because of the size difference, Tank won't be able to hurt Jake Paul, and that Jake Paul could probably knock him out with one punch. We've seen Shakur Stevenson's words say that this is a clown show, that this is a disgrace to boxing, that it's something that he doesn't want to be a part of, but then do everything he can to be a part of it by turning from 2-division, 3-division world champion, former unified champion, and turning himself from that into a damn sparring partner for Jake Paul. So people's words, people's actions are showing that they really, really deep down like this fight. And now you can add Devin the Dream Haney to the list of fighters. And I just find it funny because here's the thing. I disagree with him. I am only interested in this fight because, number one, I'm a diehard Gervonta Tank Davis fan. And number two, I don't really like Jake Paul at all. So I would like to see Tank Davis knock his block off. But as far as a competitive standpoint, as far as thinking it's a good fight, as far as loving the fight, nah, bro, I think it's a trash-ass fight. I think Tank Davis is way too good, way too skilled, way too talented to even allow Jake Paul to share the ring with him. That is my opinion. And so as a result, my pick of the fight or my overview and analysis of the fight is the same. If it's a real fight, if this is something that Tank Davis is taking serious, Jake Paul is going to get in that bitch and be a...
Former world champion Keith Thurman took a more neutral stance on the issue. He pointed out that many of the same fans who criticize Gervonta Davis are also the ones who never skip his fights. In Thurman's view, people may complain loudly, but they still watch because Davis consistently brings excitement to the ring. He suggested that the ongoing controversy actually keeps Davis in the spotlight, reinforcing his influence and drawing even more attention to the event. Thurman believes that, regardless of the criticism, fans will still tune in, a testament to how powerful Davis's brand has become. Even those who disapprove end up contributing to his success.
Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're gonna want to tune in to the Tank and Paul show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What is it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, sometimes
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So it's money-making purposes only, you know.
Throughout his career, Gervonta Davis has emphasized his commitment to real boxing and his ambition to build a lasting legacy through meaningful competition. He's taken on tough challenges and earned victories that solidified his reputation as one of the elite fighters in the lightweight division. That's why many fans are puzzled by his choice to fight Jake Paul, someone known more for his online fame than his technical boxing ability. To those fans, this matchup doesn't seem to align with Davis's usual goals or reflect his true skill set. Still, Davis hasn't appeared bothered by the criticism. He remains focused on his own direction, suggesting that this fight may serve more of a personal or financial purpose than one tied to legacy.
Paul is not the problem with boxing, Tank Davis is. Jake Paul's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's a Disney Channel kid, YouTube star turned boxer. Of course, he's gonna make these stupid spectacle matchups. He doesn't care about his career, his legacy, or the sport. Meanwhile, we have Tank Davis, the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner, who has real talent. And if he was actually consistent in the ring and was willing to get in with some of the best fighters in the world, he could be top 3 pound for pound best fighters in the sport. But instead, Tank just wants to hold up his division for 5 years and make a mockery of the sport, especially with this fight. I know Tank Davis multiple times has said he only cares about the money and just wants to make $100 million and go retire off an island somewhere, but that's bad for the sport, especially coming from one of our sport's biggest superstars. Look at guys like Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford. Those guys are real fighters, okay? They challenge themselves against the best fighters in the world. And money comes their way too from it. Don't get it twisted. What's crazy is Tank would make just as much money if he fought Shakur, Devin Haney, even Teofimo Lopez. The biggest tragedy of all is the fact that Lamont Roach isn't getting his rematch. He got robbed in that fight with a knockdown. He definitely would have won the split decision, and he would have got his Buster Douglas moment, but he didn't, and now he can't even get a rematch because Tank is going to do this, and now Lamont Roach has to fight Pitbull Cruz instead. I used to be such a big Tank Davis fan, but over the last year and a half that I've had this channel, the amount of BS that I've had to report on Tank Davis just like this completely turned me off as a fan of Tank Davis. Jake Paul can do his thing with the influencers, with the MMA fighters, but with boxers...
Many boxing experts view the Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul matchup as something that doesn't quite align with the traditional standards of the sport. It sits somewhere between a legitimate competition and a spectacle designed to draw mainstream attention. In recent years, these hybrid-style events, part entertainment, part athletic contest, have become increasingly common. While some fans appreciate the novelty and excitement, others argue that such fights risk undermining boxing's integrity. What makes this particular bout especially unusual is that both Davis and Jake remain active professionals. Typically, exhibition-style matches feature retired boxers or celebrities, not two fighters who are still pursuing serious careers.
With fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering why has Tank taken this fight, and those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser. Because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career. And for most Gervonta Davis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of criticism he gets to the likes of Mayweather, but the difference is with his mentor Floyd, he really did fight a lot of champs in their prime. Has Tank? Well, not really. The most notable fight he's recently had that the people actually wanted was the Ryan Garcia fight, and the only reason he took that fight was because everything was on his terms. And other than the Ryan fight over the last couple years, it's either been people who aren't in his weight division, which he's pulling up, or fighters ranked in the lower half of the top 10 lightweight list. The fights people have truly wanted to see just have never materialized, and simply that's why people criticize him. If the likes of Crawford never fought Spence or Usyk never fought Fury or Joshua, they would have caught the same level of flack. The reason why fighters like them are applauded is because generally they take on whatever challenge is in front of them. Tank instead, his whole career has bobbed and weaved around the most significant challenges that the people actually want to see unless he has everything.
Gervonta Davis' longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, has shared his perspective on the upcoming fight, saying that despite the clear size difference, the matchup is absolutely possible. Having coached Davis since his teenage years, Ford knows how to prepare him to handle bigger opponents. He emphasized that Davis' trademark speed, footwork, and timing often allow him to neutralize physical disadvantages. According to Ford, Gervonta's high ring IQ and explosive power could still make him the dominant fighter against Jake Paul. Many analysts echoed Ford's confidence, noting that Davis' technical skills and experience give him the ability to adapt quickly, even when facing someone with a larger frame. For Ford, this fight simply represents another challenge, another opportunity for Davis to prove his ability to overcome obstacles. When the two step into the ring, the size contrast will be impossible to miss. Jake is naturally taller and heavier, but Ford insists that physical appearance doesn't decide a fight. Davis' greatest strengths lie in his speed, sharp reflexes, and defensive awareness. His precise movement and footwork allow him to evade heavy shots and dictate the rhythm of a match. Jake Paul, on the other hand, tends to rely more on raw power and straightforward combinations. Though he's improved significantly since his early boxing days, he's never faced someone with Davis' level of timing, precision, and ring intelligence. That's what makes this matchup so intriguing. It's a clash of power versus skill, confidence versus experience. As the fight draws closer, opinions remain sharply divided. Some see it as a publicity stunt with little sporting value, while others view it as an intriguing crossover that could draw new fans to boxing.